Hello student, myself Professor Rushali Tapde from ICEEM Engineering College. Today we will start with our next chapter, that is nothing but a searching and sorting, and today we will discuss about the linear search. Before that, we just recall in a 5 minutes whatever we have learned in the first chapter. In the first chapter we have seen what is a data structure. Then we have seen the classification of data structure, that are the different types of data structure like a primitive data structure and non-primitive data structure. Then we have discussed about how to write the abstract data type for the particular data structure or for the given problem statement. Then what is the data abstraction. Then we have seen what is the algorithm and the different characteristics of algorithm. After that we have discussed about the different data structures like array, what are the different types of array. Then we discuss about the structure and union. Then we have discussed about the difference between array structure as well as the difference between structure and union. And then we have seen how to write the program for the array structure. Okay, so I hope all these things are clear to you. So in this lecture we have covered what is searching, what are the different types of searching, what is the linear search. Then we will discuss about the algorithm of linear search. Then we see the examples of linear search. We have seen here two examples of the linear search. Then we discuss about the advantages as well as the disadvantages of the linear search. Then we see how to write a program for the linear search, and then we discuss about the time complexity of the linear search. What is the time complexity? That means how much time is required by the linear search, that is called as the time complexity. Okay, so first we see what is the searching. Searching is a process of finding the location of the given element from the given list. Okay, if you want to find a particular element from the given list, that process is called as a searching. For example, finding the details of roll number 23 from the attendance sheet. Okay, if you want to find the detail of roll number 23, then from the attendance sheet, this process of finding the details of that particular roll number is called as a searching process. Now, searching is classified into internal searching and external searching. Okay, so what is the internal searching? If the searching process is performed on the data which is stored in a main memory, or you can say in a primary memory, then it is called as a internal searching. Okay, this searching process required less time because it is why it is required less time for searching? Due to the size of primary memory. But internal searching is suitable only for the small amount of data. It is not suitable for the large amount of data. Okay, next is the external searching. What is external searching? If the searching process is performed on the data which is present in the secondary memory, then that type of searching is called as the external searching, right? So what is external searching do? It requires more time for searching because its size is more as compared to the primary memory, but it is suitable for the large amount of data. So internal searching, if you are performing searching process on the main memory, then it is called internal, and if you are performing searching process on the data which is present in the secondary memory, you can call it as a external searching. Internal searching suitable for the small amount of data, whereas external searching suitable for the large amount of data. Internal searching required less time for the searching, whereas external searching required maximum more time as compared to the internal searching for searching the data. This is the difference between internal searching and external searching. Now, there are two types of searching. First is the linear search and second is the binary search. Now, what is the linear search? Linear search is one of the simplest searching method. Why it is called as the simplest searching method? Because in this searching, whatever the element we need to find, we can find it in the list sequentially. Okay, by comparing that element with each and every element of the list. In this way, we can sequentially find that element from the given list, and for that we have started finding the element from the first element of our list. That means we start comparing the given element with the each and every element of list with the first record, and this process of searching is continue till the exact match is found. That means you find the that element position where it is present in the list, or till your list is ended. Obviously it is possible that sometimes your element may be present in the list, sometimes that element you not found in a list. So how much time you continue this process till the exact match is found, or till your list is get ended. Now this searching process is performed on the sorted data as well as the unsorted data. You can perform this searching method on any type of data, either sorted or unsorted data. Now this is an algorithm for the linear search. What this algorithm says, ki first what you have to do, you need to accept the element from the user which he want to search. Okay, you ask the user which element you want to search from the given list. Okay, after getting that element, you take all the elements of your array. Then with the help of, now we want to compare our element with each and every element of array. So we take that means we are continue this process multiple times. Searching process is done multiple times. So instead of writing that statement again and again, comparison statement, what we do, we put that comparison statement inside one looping statement. So it will continue till the arrays get ended, or till you can find the exact match. So inside the for loop, with the help of if statement, we check whether that element is present in the array. That means we check whether a of I is equals to atom. If it is found, then we can say atom is found, otherwise we can say atom is not found. In this way the algorithm of the linear search works. Now here we will take the example. We see how to solve the given example. Okay, here your array contains 10 elements. Total elements in the array is 10 elements. We have started with a 0, so the position of our last element is a 9. Okay, so the array is given specified with the 10 elements, in which you need to find the position of element 64 with the help of linear search. So what we have to do, first we need here we have draw the array with a 10 elements: 23, 16, 5, 105, then 64, 125, 10, 18, 40 and 20. These are the 10 elements of the array, and we need to find the position of the element 64. So we start with the 0th element by comparing our atom with the 0th element of our array. Okay, so we check whether our atom is equals to a of 0. Value of a of 0 is 23, which is not equals to 64. 64 is our atom which we want to find. So we move to the next step. In the next step, what we are doing, we are comparing the first element, that is a of 1, with the given atom. Value of the given atom is 64, whereas the value of the a of 1 is a 16. So again 16 is not equals to 64. So we move to the next step. Here we are comparing the third element, that is a of 2, okay, with the given item. So we check the value of a of 2 is 5, whereas value of our atom is 64. So again 5 is not equals to 64. So we move to the next step. In this step, we compare the fourth element of our array, that is a of 3, which equals to our atom. Okay, so value of a of 3 is 105, which is not equals to 64. So here also we are not finding the 64. So we move to the next step. In the next step, we check whether a of 4 is equals to atom. That means fifth element is equals to atom. And here we find that a of 4 value is 64 and our atom value is also 64. That means 64 is equals to 64, and hence the atom 64 is found at location 4. It is present at the fourth location of in the given list. In this way we need to solve the given example. Okay, now here we find the given element in the list, but sometimes it is possible that the given element is not present in the list. So we take one more example in which we need to find, here our array contains 5 elements and they are saying find the number of comparisons required to show whether the element 15 is present in the list or not with the help of linear search. So again with the same process we solve this example. Our array contains 5 elements and our element which is to be searched is a 15. So we start with the 0th element of our array and check whether it is equals to 15. So a of 0 value is equals to 23, which is not equals to our atom value, that is a 15. So 23 is not equals to 15. So we move to the next step. In the second step, we check whether the first element of our array is equals to our atom. Value of a of 1 is equals to 16, whereas value of our atom is a 15. So 16 is also not equals to 15. So we move to the next step. In the next step, again we check whether the third element of our array is equals to atom, that is a 5 is equals to 15. No, 5 is not equals to 15. So here also we need to the move to the next step. Now in the next step we compare a of 3, that is the fourth element of our array, with our atom value, which value is 105. A of 3 is 105, which is not equals to our atom, that is a 15. So 105 is not equals to 15. So we need to move next position. So next step, in that step the fifth element of our array is nothing but a 64. So we check whether a of 4 is equals to atom, 64 is equals to atom. So here we say that 64 is not equals to atom. Now our searching process is stop here because our array is ended. We don't have any more elements to compare. So we can say that element 15 is not found in the given list. So here we are seeing two examples. In the first example we find the element that is present in the list, whereas in the second example we see the example where the element is not present in the list, and based on this the time complexity of the linear search is specified, whether the element is found or whether that element is not found. So we see how to calculate the time complexity of the linear search. Now we know time complexity is specified in the three cases, that is the best case, worst case and average case. Best case means less amount of time that is required for the searching process. Whatever the element we want to search that is present at the first position of the list, then we can say it is a best case. Okay, average case means you required average amount of time. Whatever the element you have, you require to average number, that is a half amount of time, half number of comparisons to find the given element, then you can say it is a average case. And worst case means the given element which you are finding in the given list, it may be present at the last position or it may not be present in the given list. In that case you can say it is a worst case for the searching process. Okay, so how to specify the time complexity for the linear search? If for the average case, that means if the searching process required average amount of time to search the given element, then it is specified with the help of big O notation of n by 2. Whatever the elements you have, you require average amount of time, so n by 2. Then the worst case, in the worst case, how to specify the time complexity? Whatever the element you want to find, it may be present at the last position or it may not be present in the list. That means you require n number of comparisons. You need to compare your element with each and every element of your list. So you require n number of comparisons. So here we are specifying our time complexity as a O of n. N means number of elements we are comparing. And the best case, when it is possible, if you are searching for the element which is present at the first position of your list, then you can say this is the best case of a searching, that is a best case of time complexity. So how to specify that complexity of 1? Only one comparison is required for searching the given element in the list. In this way the time complexity of the searching linear search is specified. Now we will see how to write. These are the two examples which I have given to solve you finding the position of the 99 in from the given list, and then in the second example you need to find the position of the 46 from the given list. Here we are seeing how to write the program for the linear search. Again Here we are including two header files, stdio.h and conio.h. In each video I tell you about the stdio.h, that is the standard input output file which we required to include inside our program for the scanf and printf function, and the conio.h for the console related input output functions which you want to include inside your program. Okay, then inside the main, what we are doing, we are taking one array with a 10 elements. We are taking maximum elements in the array is nothing but a 10. Okay, and then we are asking user how many elements he want to enter inside the array. Okay, suppose he not want to enter the 10 elements, he can enter how many elements he want to inside the array. Then we take that values of the array with the help of for loop. We are scanning each and every value of our array. Then we are taking the element which the user want to search. We accept that element from the user. Now in here we are actually performing the process of searching. We check whether array element is equals to atom, whatever the atom user want to search, whether it is equals to a of I, that is the array of I. If we found that match, whatever the element we want to search, if found that match, we set our flag. Initially we are setting our flag is equals to 0. If we find that element, we change its value is equals to 1 and break that loop so that it comes outside the loop. As soon as we found the match, it will come outside the loop by setting the flag equals to 1. And here we are checking if flag equals to 1, then we are saying that element is found, and if flag value is still 0 after the completion of the loop, then we can say the element is not found. In this way we can write the program for the linear search. Now we will see what are the different advantages of the linear search. The first advantage of the linear search is that it is a simple method, simple logic for implementing. Okay, and second is that it does not require extra data structure, additional data structure. Whatever the data structure you have given, it can perform the searching process on that data structure only, as well as it does not require the data to be ordered. This is one of the advantage of your linear search. It will be work on the sorted or unsorted data, any order of the data. It may be sorted or it may not be sorted. Whatever the data is given, you can perform linear search easily on that data. Then the disadvantage of the linear search, the mainly disadvantage of the linear search is that it is not sufficient for the large amount of data, because if you are searching the element which is present at the last position and your data list contains thousands of record, and whatever the record you want to search that is present at the last position, at that time the time complexity is very large for searching process. So this method is insufficient for the large amount of data. Because it required more time, so it is slowest for that case. I hope this concept is clear to you. In this lecture we see what is the searching, then we see what is the internal searching, what is the external searching, what is the difference between these two searching, and the types of searching. These are types of searchings are linear and binary search. From the we have started with the linear search. We see what is the linear search, how it will works. Then we look we have seen about the algorithm of the linear search. We take the two examples. In the first example, the element is found in the list, and in the second example, element is not finding in the list. So we take the two example to see how to find the element in the list, how the searching process is carried out, and you need to follow the steps for solving the example. Then we see the time complexity of the linear search, how the time complexity is calculated. Then based on the number of comparisons that are required for the searching process, your time complexity is specified for the linear search. Okay, and then we see how to write the program for the linear search, what the data structure that is required for searching process. Any type of on any type of data structure you can perform the linear search process. It may be the array, it may be the structure, you can perform on any type of data structure this searching process. Okay, so with the help of algorithm we can write the program. I hope all these concepts are clear to you. In the next lecture we will see about the binary search. Thank you.